What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, so we have quite a bit of movie news to discuss here. So first up on the docket here, this was sent in via my guy CJ on Instagram. So shout out to you. Thank you for sending this to me and making me aware of this. So he DM'd Evan Brooks, and if you don't know who that is, he is the lead designer, one of the lead designers for Hasbro Transformers with Studio Series, I believe. And he asked him, will you make a Studio Series dropship from Dark of the Moon? And will you do a Titan class DEVCON from Dark of the Moon as well? And Evan says, I think they're certainly on our to-do list. Man, this would be dope to see. Now, I don't know when we could possibly get these two releases, because the dropship, that would be a pretty big thing to do. Like, it would probably be a Titan class scale vehicle, and it would have to transform into those different configurations that you see in Dark of the Moon and Age of Extinction, with like the weapons mode and the flight mode. And then there's also a couple different designs for the dropships they could do as well that you see in those two movies. So I don't know what they could possibly do or when that could be released, but I definitely do feel like it would probably be around that Titan class scale and price. And with DEVCON, he would definitely have to be Titan class scale and price too, because he is a humongous, I wouldn't even say character, just a background robot in the final battle of Dark of the Moon, you know. He would be really cool to see. Like, people have been asking for a DEVCON for many years now in Studio Series, and him saying that it's on our to-do list for these two things here, it's really telling that it seems like probably, if I had to guess, in the next 5 to 10 years, I know it sounds like a hell of a long way to wait for these two, but I mean, there's a lot they got to do in Studio Series in the coming years. So definitely in the next 5 to 10 years, I could see them delving into a new DEVCON and probably that Decepticon dropship design as well. But who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. And in other news, let's talk about a recent video update that Laszlo did a couple days ago. So he dropped some interesting pieces of info in his video. I'm going to link it in the description of this video if you guys want to watch it for yourselves, but I'm going to discuss and speculate and theorize here on the info that he is giving in this video. So the first thing that I want to read here is concept art and modeling stages have most likely begun at ILM. This will be followed by location scouting and getting the cast, both humans and robots. And speaking of cast members, we might have our first one. I think at that last part he was talking about Josh Duhamel, but I could be wrong, and that's just like him saying he wants to come back. It's not anything official right now. Now, this whole thing, it does go in line with what he said a few weeks back, that they're already in the concept art stages and everything. So I'm really excited to where this movie is going to go. And with what he's saying here, we're probably going to get an official announcement and title reveal of this movie, I'd say in the next few months. I'm thinking around November or October, or maybe early next year. We're really going to have to wait and see on the timeline and scheduling and rollout of this movie, because it could be around the same of the previous Bay movies, or it could be something new, because that was 8, 10, 15, 20 years ago at this point. So we're just going to have to wait and see on how they market and do the rollout for this film. I'm really excited on what they're going to do here with the designs, the locations, the cinematography, everything. I'm just super excited to see how this all unfolds. And with them doing location scouting and getting the cast, I'm going to stand by them filming this movie next summer. So about 10, 11 months away, maybe next spring, because Bay does kind of move fast with this stuff. And then the movie drops summer of 2027. I'm standing by that. It seems like, by what Laszlo is saying here, this is going to be the timeline for this movie, which I'm really excited, because I don't want to be waiting another 3, 4, 5 years to see the next live-action movie. And I know y'all feel the same way as well. And the other piece of info he gave here, and also comes the question, is this film a reboot, a standalone, or a sequel? Rumors I've been hearing is that it is a sequel to Rise of the Beast with a unique twist. You gotta be kidding me. So this is kind of shutting up the people that think this is still in the Bayverse and we're getting a sequel to The Last Night just because Michael Bay is coming back. It's looking unlikely from what Laszlo is saying here. And it being in that same continuity as Rise of the Beast and Bumblebee, there's a lot they could play with in terms of the characters. So I'm really excited to hear about that, because with the whole Bayverse continuity, sure, there's still stuff they could do and kind of expand upon, but do we really need to see that universe get revived? I don't think so. I think we just need to keep moving forward with this new universe and just build on top of that and hopefully get a better movie than Rise of the Beast and, in my opinion, Bumblebee as well, because you barely even got any robot interactions in Bumblebee. It was mostly just, you could call that movie the Charlie movie and it would make more sense than calling it Bumblebee. So I don't really get the hype behind Bumblebee, but it is what it is. So I'm really excited to hear that it's rumored to be a sequel to Rise of the Beast, because, you know, they do still have Unicron to set up. They do still have the Maximals and the Predacons. They do still need to do the whereabouts of Megatron and the Decepticons and everything, and what's going on with Cybertron right now, and where the other Autobots are at. And they still have the G.I. Joe crossover with everything going on. So I think this makes it more in line with us getting the G.I. Joe crossover movie in 2027, directed by Michael Bay. That's the theory I'm going with right now. But at the same time, I'm kind of second guessing that, because no one, and even Laszlo, is saying that this is just the G.I. Joe crossover movie, because we already have that movie announced. We already have Chris Hemsworth rumored to be in that movie. We already have a writer attached. You know, we've had updates on that movie last year. But I don't know, we haven't gotten anything this year with the movie. And on top of that, it seems like the movie might be delayed or canceled. So I don't know. And the fact he's saying a unique twist here and not just outright saying it's the G.I. Joe crossover movie that's already been announced, it's kind of telling that it probably won't be the crossover movie at the same time. But I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards it still being the crossover movie in some fashion. Maybe it's a unique twist in doing that crossover. Maybe there's something that they thought of over at Paramount that we don't know about on how they're going to handle Cobra and G.I. Joe integrated into a Transformers movie. That could be the case too. But also, you know, Laszlo was speculating that he thinks maybe it's a Beast Wars film. Again, maybe that could be him putting out info that he doesn't want to put out as fact and that he's speculating on. And then he was right about that once we get the announcement of this movie, because he did put out speculation months ago that Michael Bay he would love to see Michael Bay come back or something like that on Twitter, he said. And then a few months later, you get the announcement, and he came out and said that he was basically hinting at it while not directly saying it. So that could be the case. It could be a Beast Wars film. I don't know. My two thoughts right now are it's either some form of a Beast Wars movie, or they're doing a unique twist on the G.I. Joe crossover that we just have no idea on what that could be yet over at Paramount. But who knows? We're going to have to wait and see, guys. Let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about us potentially getting a Decepticon dropship and Titan-class DEVCON in Studio Series in the coming years? And what do you guys think about the updates Laszlo gave here on the upcoming Michael Bay Transformers movie? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!